so today I'm going to show you how I chop up samples with no drums in them. You know, sometimes it's easier with drums because you can just go off the rhythm of the drum. I have a sample right here that are just keys. Okay. And we just want to find the bar, which is right there. We want to find that first bar, which is we're going to turn into a loop. We're going to call that our first bar because we're going to chop it up into 4/4. So it's going to be 4 chops that make a hole. At the 4th one, it's going to come back around and it's going to be our loop. And I'll show you what I mean right now. And if you don't understand, you know what I'm saying, don't worry about it. Just try to follow along. These are just terms to help me explain it and understand the process, but it doesn't mean that you can't achieve the same thing without knowing, you know, because it's not a big deal, really. This is stuff that I didn't even know either. So just try to follow along and you'll get it. Don't worry too much if you don't understand the terms or whatever. So anyways, let's get into it. So we want to find the rhythm of the sample. We want to count the measures, right? So we're going to count like 1 and 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's how we're going to end up chopping. Our sample is going to be on each whole number. And let me show you real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So basically that right there is how you know that that's the measures of the sample that's being played out. So all we need to do now is just count out loud to the rhythm of the sample and hit chop on each whole number so we can get so we could achieve that 4/4 sample chop. So it's gonna go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And you can see already right there. So we have our 1, 2, 3 and 4 in background. 1 and 2. A little sloppy, but you can go back and fix it up, right? So like I think this one needs to come over here a little bit. So it goes right. So that's how you know you're doing it right. That first section of your pads is going to be able to line up, and you have your first loop, your first bar right here. So that's how you know you're in rhythm. You're at the right BPM. And just continue with that. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. It's going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So that's how you do that. That's pretty much it. Like all you have to do is just try to go to the rhythm of the sample, and it's best to count out loud because sometimes there's a break or a pause in the sample and then it's just going to throw you off. So I always count out loud. I don't, you know, it's just going to make things easier for you. Also, if you don't want to go through each pad and you just want to stay on rhythm by tapping your MPC or whatever, you can use the last. If you haven't figured this out already, you can use the last pad and it'll continue. So I'm going to show you right now. It's going to go. I'm just going to do the first row, then I'll switch over here. So it's going to go 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So yeah, that's just a nice little trick. I mean, I usually do that because sometimes I don't like following along and I like to tap. It helps me stay in rhythm. That's basically it. That's how I chop up samples with no drums in them. That's how to go about it for every sample. Sometimes you won't be allowed to go 4/4, but it'll be, you know, just a different type of measure. You just got to find out how many numbers, how many measures are in that bar, in that section of the sample, and then just try to chop to it. It's the same concept, just different measures. So now, usually what I'll do is that I'll continue to chop up till my pads are full, and I did that earlier. Here it is right here. A lot of chops, but like, you know, I've said in previous videos, it's just going to allow me to have more to work with. And we'll continue the beat so I can show you what I mean. So we're going to head and convert this into a drum program. Just hit do it. I already did, so I'm not going to hit do it, but hit do it. Go to your main screen. Make sure you're on that drum program, right? And so I have my chops right here, right? And I threw a little bit of filters on there. So I got my reverb and then I got my kill EQ, which pretty much I just got rid of the low end because I'm probably going to add some bass into there later. So it sounds a little nicer too. But anyways, we're going to hit, I'm going to go to program edit. And what I did is I dropped it down 3 semitones. It's a nice little feel to it. Okay. And then I came up with this pattern. It goes, right, it goes okay, and if you're not sure, like, now how do you know what BPM you're going to use for that, right? So one trick to that, and it usually works for me. Sometimes it's not going to always work, but it's a good number to work with to figure out where you need to be. But you're going to use this guy right here, tap tempo. Basically, all you want to do is you're going to use tap tempo, and you just want to kind of go at the same rhythm as you were with your chops. But every time you hit a chop, you're going to hit tap tempo. So it's kind of going to be like... So I had like 87, 80. It was fluctuating. It's going to do that. But I already know it's 90. So you're going to work from the number you get. You're going to work with that. And if you make some adjustments, however you have to. But I already know it's 90. So I'm going to do 90. And then we're going to play that out. And hopefully I don't mess it up. So we're going to record this. It's going to go. So I messed up a little bit towards the end, but you can go back and fix it, or just do the 2-bar and then, you know, copy it or whatever. So there's my first loop right there with the chops. And then, so what I did was I'm going to go into, I want to take more from that sample, right? Because I think there's some more over here. There we go. So I want to take this right here. I want to use, but I'm going to go ahead and try to filter out the rest so that it's just the vocals, just the ooh. Right. So what I'm going to do is go to here. No, sorry. I'm going to go right here to drum program, duplicate to track. Okay. Try to really, okay. Duplicate a track. And now I have it on track 2. But what I did is that I added the same filters, but plus high pass filter. Okay. So basically it only allows for the highs to go through. And then I'm going to go ahead and this is how I'm going to lay it. Just going to play it with it. Okay. If you haven't already seen my video on how to check the key for your sample, go ahead and check that out. But I already know that my key to my sample is B major. And so what I did is I pulled up the hype plugin. And so I pulled up the hype plugin. I put up a piano and I threw on progressions, and I'm going to do something with the no repeat here. Okay, it's going to go like that. So I'm going to go ahead and record it. I'm going to put a little bit of pause in it because I don't like how it's so fast, so it's going to go. All right, so there you go. I mean, it's gonna do some cleaning up. I'm gonna clean it up later. I'll show you guys the full track right now. But and then I have some drum breaks that I went ahead and like stacked them together. I think it's 3 drum breaks that I put together. So here's the first one. Okay, I don't know why that one cut at the end. Something must have happened, but anyways. And there's a second one. Okay. And then the third one is right here. And these are all just stacked on top of each other, different volumes, so they're not clipping out. hopefully. I still have to check on that, but so let me go ahead and try to solo these all together. No, I won't be able to do that. So I'm gonna just show you how this sounds all together. 1 second. So this is how all the drum breaks sound together. Okay, and I cleaned up everything, you know, to get it to my liking, and this is how it sounds. Chops right here, right, and this is how it all sounds together. That's pretty much it right there. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments, and any more ideas for any other videos, let me know, and I'll try to get on them.